لكن تحديت الظروف وخضتها وحدي صبورا مستعينا بالصلاة. كم مرة عصف الأنين بداخلي، كم مرة قد ذاق قلبي من أساه محن تمر، وكم كرهت مصابها.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. ما بعد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Ramadan has come, and subhanallah, Ramadan has almost left us. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept all of your fasts, your worship, your du'as in this blessed month. And I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the ability to see Ramadan in the near distant future. Allahumma ameen. No introduction is needed, considering we're in the month of Ramadan, especially the fundraising mercenaries, the charity prostitutes, who will be at the forefront in requesting your donations. And in this video, I will step it up a notch. I've had requests by many to name charities, and I wasn't in the place or space to do so because I was speaking generally, in generic terms, about the sector. Honourable brothers from across the pond, in the UK, in Africa, in Australia, have reached out to me ever since I've started this particular campaign. Now I have documentation, evidence to show you that they profit of orphans. In the next video, I will show you how they profit of wealth. These charities operate no difference to a business because they think about margins. They think about profit. So they want to make profits out of orphans. They want to make profits out of wells. They want to make profits out of food packs. This is their model. The capitalistic charities use zakat and lillah and sadaqah to make margins. And they would use aitam, they will use food packs, they will use wells in order to do so. Now, Orphans in Need are a charity that has been operating for a very long time. And just to add, Orphans in Need ain't the only one that use this model. I could go as far as saying that predominantly all charities use this model of using margins, orphans and whatnot, to increase their profits. So let's give you a bit of background about Orphans in Need. So as you can see on screen, it mentions we are dedicated to providing long-term consistent support to orphan children and their families in need. Our teams are here to ensure the children in our care will grow and develop in their confidence over time and have a chance for a better and brighter future. We're a UK-based organisation supporting and caring for over 40,000 orphans and their families. Okay, so they have 40,000 orphans in 13 countries, including Somalia, Mali, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sierra Leone, Sri Lanka, and Palestine. Since our establishment in 2005, we have supported those who struggle to survive and make a living for themselves. Your donations ensure we can provide long-term sustainable solutions to the most vulnerable of society, and it carries on. I have two documents in my possession. I have an orphan sponsorship program that they've sent to various charities, and I also have the orphans sponsorship guidelines from Orphans in Need. And I would prove and evidence without a shadow of a doubt that they use orphans as margins and profit. They use orphans. So for them, they are just numbers for them to increase their bank balance. And I would answer potential reservations that they may have according to our proof and evidence. So going into the first document, and you will see on screen, as you can see, right? We've got the Orphan Sponsorship Program 2024, and we've got it in front of you, right? This is from Orphans in Need that they've sent to various charities. And what I want to bring to your attention, subhanallah al-azim, it's right in front of you. It mentions the budget, right? And I'm going to show you to the extent of how much money they make up orphans. So the budget must clarify the cost of the program's activities. In case the child lives with a guardian or extended family, the partner, so who they are working with, must consider that the £22 GBP OS fund per child should be divided per the following. £19 directly to the sponsored child. So £19 goes to the child. £3 administrative costs. So whoever the partner is, they pay them £3 in administrative costs. So the total is £22. And out of that £22, £19 must go to the sponsored child and £3 goes to the partner for administrative costs. And then he mentions, in case the child lives in an orphanage supervised by the partner must consider the £22 Great Britain pound sterling OS fund per child should be divided per the following. And it's exactly the same. £19 dedicated to the child care expenses of the sponsored child and £3 administrative cost to that partner. The project timeline. The partner must send the project's photos and videos to OIN International Programs team regularly based on the reporting period agreed. You can use WeTransfer, Google Drive and ODrive, right? So as you can see, we've got the Orphan Sponsorship Implementation Guidelines. This is the second document. And it mentions orphan sponsorship budget. The total budget for orphan sponsorship will depend on the number of orphan children sponsored each quarter. However, from the £22 per orphan child per month, project cost at least £19 must go directly to the child. This should not be affected by any of the costs of the OS program. Administration costs, a maximum of £3 can be used on staffing costs, transport and admin costs, which includes bank charges, printing, photography, etc. So when they print out, when they go to the orphans and whatnot. If there are any changes to the above allocations, Orphan in Need will inform the partner. Partners must use the sponsorship funds solely on the orphan children or the purpose for which they were granted. And then he mentions about the new partner, the orphan sponsorship program activities, and I've got the documents in front of me. As you can see on screen, from their website, we've got Sponsor an Orphan. Our orphan sponsorship program offers vulnerable children a way out of the neglect, abuse, and exploitation they face. Sponsor an Orphan today, right? So as per the orphan sponsorship program that they have. So you've got the monthly donations start at £30 a month. Do you remember I said, or I read out, that they have 40,000 orphans, okay, according to their own website. So if the donor is charged £30 a month, the true cost of the orphan is £22 a month, that leaves a remaining £8. So if we do the math correctly, £8 profit that they make, times that by 40,000, that's £320,000 a month. Orphans indeed make out of the orphan. And if you times that by 12, this is just a month, they make £3,840,000 a year in profit from the orphan. You might argue, no, but the costs of admin is what they cover. No, because as you read from the orphan sponsorship implementation, and I'll put it back on screen, it mentions that the £3 administrative cost is solely on the partner, and this covers staffing costs, transport, admin costs, includes bank charges, printing, photography. So coming back to me, they don't pay any admin costs. The £3 admin cost is taken by the partner from the £22 that they give to them. There's no admin cost for Orphans in Need. So £8 a month, times that by 40,000, that's £320,000 a month that Orphans in Need make. So if you go to the total income, right, as per the last year's declaration, they made 15,772,170. So they made 15 million. So there's an underspend. So where is that profit? And 15 million, take away 12 million equals 3 million profit, right? I can assure you that the donors didn't pay you £30 a month for you to stack it away. They didn't pay you to stack away 3 million. You know that and I know that. Furthermore, you are withholding money from the orphans. And if we do the math, right, which you're holding on to, the 3 million, there's an extra 14,000 orphans that could have been sponsored with that money. 14,000. This is your documentation that you sent to various charities. I told you that the amount of information that I'm getting from charities across the world, you are indeed monetizing Islam. You are profiting from orphans, you are profiting from WOWs, and you are profiting from food banks. And I want to get to that. I'm going to get to that. So this is indeed a business. This is sickening. And these are your documentations that you send to your partners. So you, every month, £8 that you profit. Times that by 40,000. You're talking hundreds of thousands of pounds a month that you make in profit. Doing what? And according to Charities Commission, and I'm just going over my notes because I've worded this correctly. You mentioned to the Charities Commission that you don't have any employees that earn over £60,000 a year. Right, that's what you mentioned. So it's not going on employees' salaries. So can I ask, where is this £3 million? Where is it? So you are profiting off orphans, right? You are taking the wealth of the orphans. We give you £30 a month to give to the orphans, right? So £22 goes, 19 goes to the orphan, £3 administrative cost to your partners, £8 a month. That's the wealth of the orphan. Now, plain devil's advocate, you could say, no, we're spending that money on food, meals, and whatnot. Okay? So why are you underspending 3 million then? I just want to know, why are you underspending 3 million? And if you do the math, which is exactly the amount that they profit, £8. Do the math. £8 every orphan. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to play something on screen for you. This is another part of your website. And you mentioned how we use your donations and sponsorship. As one of the first charities in the world dedicated to caring for orphans and providing child sponsorship, we are working towards creating a better world, not just for our orphans, but for everyone else. 4,000 sponsored children. Currently, we sponsor over 4,000 children in Palestine. 3,000 sponsored children. We currently sponsor over 3,000 children in India. So that's 7,000, right? That's 7,000 orphans. Even though there's 40,000, right, that you have, we're dividing it, to different countries now. So as you can see on screen, 7,000 orphans, okay, that you have in Palestine and in India. So you make £8 per orphan. Times that by 7,000. In India and in Palestine alone, you're making £56,000 a month. Just in these two countries. You've got another 11 countries that you also sponsor in. So 7,000 in India and Palestine. So you make £56,000 a month of them two countries. You also mentioned 6,000 food parcels, right? 6,000 food parcels in Kashmir. So if we do the math with that, and we're going to use that £8 margin, 13,000 times 8, right? 13,000. So we're using the margin of 8, okay? We're using the margin of 8. 13,000 times 8, that's £140,000 a month that you make. Then they have the nerve to quote the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ by saying, Ana wa kafilul yatimi fil jannati hakada. And he did this. You have the nerve to quote this hadith, £8 per orphan, £320,000 a month, £3,840,000 a year of orphans. And then you have the nerve to quote this hadith. It's business for you. It's this. How much longer can we ignore the fact that they are banking and they are monetizing Islam, no different to these Christian preachers that you see that are banking off Christianity. These evangelicalists, they've got private jets, they've got Mercs, they've got Teslas and Ferraris, and it's exactly the same. No different to these Muslim charities. They're banking off religion. Religion is a lucrative business. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whoever is exploiting charity, exploiting aitam, exploiting widows, exploiting any aspect of our deen for a monetary gain, may Allah disgrace you and humiliate you in this life and in the hereafter. Allahumma ameen. So take care of yourselves. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad.
ليس الغريب غريب الشام واليمن إن الغريب غريب اللحد والكفن إن الغريب له حق لغربته على المقيمين في الأوطان والسكن سفر بعيد وزاد لن يبلغني وقوتي ضعفت والموت يطلبني ما أحلم الله عني عني حيث أمهلني، وقد تماديت في ذنبي ويسترني. تمر ساعة